Hi, it's Kendall Minter. I just wanted to touch briefly on some of the dynamics of the changing music industry that we find ourselves in, where it was, where it's been going, and in a nutshell, for what it's worth, where I think it might be trending and going. As many of you know, 10, 15 years ago, the technology was primarily driven by physical products, specifically CDs. Even before that, it was cassettes and then 8 tracks and all that kind of stuff for folks that are really in their 50s or older. But for everybody else, most people were familiar with CDs. CDs for many, many years were the predominant form that we listened to music in the physical form outside of radio or television or movies. So CDs ultimately gave way to digital, which is streaming, which is peer-to-peer file sharing. So about 10, 15 years ago, there were a number of peer-to-peer file sharing sites that people know as LimeWire, Rockster, Napster, and dozens of others that sprung up. And what that did is it began to, because that music was not paid for, we call it pirated in the business, it began to erode the traditional base for music consumption and music payment, which payment went back to the record company so they could fuel their ability to continue to sign, develop, record, release, promote, brand new artists. So that happened, and as a result, the record companies began to scramble. Unfortunately, they got started a little late to be able to understand, monetize, capture, and to an extent that they could control their content on the internet or through digital delivery. So as a result of the decline in sales in physical CDs, iTunes, Amazon, and other digital providers and digital retail stores sprung up and are still very prevalent in how music is consumed today, even though those pathways are now diminishing to streaming. With the evolution of digital downloads, downloading singles, downloading albums from iTunes, Amazons, and all the other digital retailers, CDs began to die. They're still in existence now, just like wax is, but there's a small minority share of the global sales for music. Now, digital, even though it's still a predominant form, which is the downloads, that itself is beginning to lose ground to streaming services. And when I say streaming, I'm talking about Pandora, Spotify, Tidal, iHeartRadio, XM Sirius Satellite, Rhapsody, and the not dozens, but the thousands of other online streaming services that are now available for music lovers to consume their music. And the challenge is, rather than paying 99 cents or $1.29 for a single or $10 for an album, people are now paying $4.99, $5.99, $9.99, maybe $19.99 per month to a particular streaming service for their entire bundle, their entire catalog of music. So that set the music industry on its heels financially. The companies are now making deals with the streaming services, taking advances for those rights and content that they're providing. A very small portion of that passes through to the artists and the content creators, to the extent that they're now getting a fraction of a penny per play. So music consumption is at an all-time high, except that paying on a per download, per purchase basis is at an all-time low. So as folks in the music industry, no matter what side you're in, whether it's a professional like a lawyer, manager, business manager, tax advisor, touring booking agent, we now have to work with and make our clients, who are the artists, the producers, the songwriters, really grasp the new technology, to understand it, to be able to capitalize on it so the music will continue to be a healthy financial industry. And how does that happen? That happens from first being a student of the internet, being a student of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, YouTube. Artists are now breaking out because they have a solid internet social media platform and following in the terms of millions and millions of views on YouTube, tens of thousands of fans and followers on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. That's what the record companies and the distributors are looking for to decide which of these new emerging artists that they want to sign, they want to align with, and they want to support and push their product. That doesn't mean you have to get a deal in order to be successful, because many artists will still remain independent, unaligned with a major or a mini major, and continue to put the music out themselves. There are a lot of opportunities to do that. CD Baby and TuneCore are two of the most prevalent, well-known opportunities for independent artists who want to stay independent or break into the game initially to leverage their content to a bigger pie, to get in low cost, easy to manage, user-friendly sites where you can upload your music, build your fan base. That music then gets uploaded by these services to all the digital retail stores for sale. But the difference is, how are you going to drive people to your site? How are you going to drive people to those sites to buy and pay for your music, as opposed to the music of a superstar that they already are following? Marketing, promotion, and then marketing, and then promotion, and then marketing and promotion. I can't overemphasize it. You have to be able to make yourself known, to make your music known, to build your fan base in as many different ways as you can. Live shows are always great, but that kind of limits you to the local audience that you're performing for. So again, you turn back to the internet, and there are lots of internet marketing companies, PR companies and others that are around at different price points to help an artist or help an independent label get their product heard, seen. Excited fans will then purchase. But you have to make that investment of time. You have to make that investment of money to set you apart from the pack, so that people will brand you and then help you succeed. And when I say branding, music these days, even though it's at an all-time high, the dollars that are gained from the sale of music are not what they were 5, 10, 15 years ago. So an artist now, to be successful, has to look to more areas of revenue streaming other than just the sale of their music. And by that, I mean performing live, having their music used in motion pictures, in television shows, which we call sync and master use licensing, third-party licensing, to be able to get their fans to support them, to love and adore them, so those fans will come out of their pockets to buy merchandise, whether it's with the fans' image, with the artist's image on it, hats, t-shirts, cups, bananas, whatever they're selling, or possibly to be able to build a brand to such an extent, like superstars like J-Lo and Jay-Z and Beyonce and Puff and Eminem and scores of others have. So now you see they're aligning themselves with products, whether it's cereal, whether it's alcohol, whether it's fragrances. Product endorsement, product branding leads to a lot of potential revenue for superstar and celebrity artists who are successful in making these kinds of strategic alliances. But even for a growing artist who's developing their brand, yeah, your fans may not buy and support everything that you put out that's non-music, but at least begin to put it out there, so you build a platform of merchandise that can be picked up and purchased by your fans, which creates another revenue stream. A lot of these things I talked about in the book that I recently released, called Understanding and Negotiating 360 Ancillary Rights Deals. It's available on our website and our portal, which is www.askmusiclawyer.com. Now, I invite you, as opposed to going to Amazon, to go to our portal, because other than just the book itself, which is full of information about understanding the new business model paradigm in the music industry, it also provides useful tips about how to negotiate those deals. But outside the book, there are contracts, there are how-to guides. So we call it basically LegalZoom on steroids for the music industry. We have webinars. We have one with Omi coming up next week. Those are monthly. We also have a hot topics page, which is really a blog, but it's updated on a daily basis. And it really is not just limited to legal information. It's just news that you need to know about developments of significance in the music industry. We have a global resource directory, which has a database, an extensive database, which is on a global basis for performing rights societies. Which ones should you join in your particular country? For the various organizations and entities that are integral to the music industry, whether it's the Recording Academy or the RIAA, Sound Exchange, ASCAP, BMI, CSAP. All of those are listed, and people can go to the website, get that information. We have online consultations, we have phone consultations. So it's just a fun site, and I invite you to check it out. Again, it's www.askmusiclawyer.com. But at the end of the day, the key to success, in my view, is first you have to be passionate about what you're doing. Make sure that this is something that you really love and you're going to devote and dedicate the time necessary to be successful at it. And then research and more research. Build relationships. We're relationship driven and contingent industry and business. So it's not so much all the time what you know, as opposed to who do you know. So expand that network of resources so that when you do have product or when you do have specific issues that need to be addressed that are involved in your career, you know who to go to, and they can then know you to be able to lend whatever assistance in their area of expertise they're engaged in. Spend some money. You've got to be able to invest in yourself, in your product. If you don't have it, reach out to your 10 degrees of separation of friends and family and business colleagues and people around you that know you, who will write a check to help support and endorse exactly what it is that you're trying to push, promote, market, or brand. And then at the end of the day, have faith. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. Thank you.